Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey by subscribing, and if you do, hit that bell notification for new uploads. And thank you so much for your comments and your questions, your suggestions, also for everyone in the groups that I'm involved with. Thank you very much for all your support. Thank you, everyone. We're going to create a flower again because I love flowers and I create a lot of flowers with patterns. So I'm trying to work on this pattern already. And today we're going to create this beautiful flower we have here, which I'm working on a pattern already. And you see over here I did already 2 colors with it. So it's a very simple flower, but very beautiful and very easy to create. So I use a 100% 4-ply cotton thread, needle number 3, a little, or I should say hook, a little one for tucking loose ends, and a pair of scissors, of course. I'll be using 2 colors or maybe 3 for this tutorial, just to show you how beautiful it can look, because sometimes people are just so used to using cream or white colors, and they're so afraid to put in a mixture of colors, which you should, because it really brings out the patterns very much so. So the first thing we're going to do is the magic ring. So we're going to turn once, put our thread over the other one. So very simple, nothing to it. Bring your thread to the front, right? And put your thread, your yarn, whatever you're using, into position. Of course, mine is very loose. I shouldn't have done it that loose. But anyway, no issues. We can fix that. Or you do a 6 chain and then close in with slip stitch. Okay, so we're doing chain 3 inside of the magic circle. We are doing 24 double crochets. So with that being said, with the 3 chain we went up, that equals a double crochet. So we're going to do it all the way around. We're going to close in the 3rd space on the 3rd chain, I should say, that we created, the very first one. 24 double crochets. So I'll meet you at the end. So we have our 24 double crochet. I'm just going to pull in my magic circle string in the back to close up the hole, because we don't want it that big. Now, we'd come on the first chain 3 that we did, and on the 3rd space, we're going to close in with slip stitch. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. In the same space, we're going to do an incomplete double crochet. Again, an incomplete double crochet. So we're going to have 3. So we're going to make groups of 3, okay? We're going to close it, 1, 2 chain. We're going to skip. Make sure that you look well where you put it, because they're so close to each other. We're going to skip 1 space into the next one. Double crochet and complete. And again, double crochet and complete. And again, double crochet and complete. This is perfect if you're creating any type of pattern, for that matter. You can create a pattern just with flowers, or put around your base centerpiece, your flowers around it. This is perfect for tablecloth. 2 chain again. Skip a space, next space, or a bedspread if you're doing it in the same space. We're going to do 2 more, so it's always 3. And I shouldn't have closed this here. We need to do incomplete. So I know I always get distracted when I'm talking. We have to do incomplete. We're going to close it all together at once. So incomplete, 2 times incomplete, and the 3rd time incomplete, and then close it in. So we're always going to skip a space and do the 3 double crochets incomplete all the way around. You're supposed to have a total of 12. Coming to the end, we're going to close it right up on the stitch where we closed all 3 in. And as I was saying, you can do a bedspread with it too, which is absolutely gorgeous. But of course, if you're going to use a 4-ply like I do, it's going to take you forever, especially if it's a big bed, because, I mean, these are small flowers. It's not, you know, it's not huge projects, okay? So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we've reached the end. I've done my 2 chain. Now, where we closed up here on the 3rd space with all of the 3 together, we're going to close in. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, going to the center of your space where you have your 2 chain 3 again, and again we're going to do 3 double crochets, incomplete again, and close it as once. This time we're going to do chain 3, and again into the next space in between. I know the blue is kind of hard to show here on camera, but we're going to change colors and you'll see how it looks. So we're going to close it all in, 1, 2, and 3 again, into the next space, and 1 incomplete, 2 incomplete, and 3 incomplete, and close it in. If you find the videos too fast for you, up top there's 3 little dots right up here. Click on it and slow down the video to your liking. Okay, so we're just going to do that with 3 chain separation, same thing as we did with the bottom one, except this time it's 3 chain and this one is 2 chain. I'll meet you at the end. Coming to the end again, the same thing. You do your 3 chains, you come where you have your 3rd one that we've closed up, and we close up. I'm going to change colors, so I'm cutting my thread here, but you can, I mean, with this you can do, you know, 1 row 1 color, another color the next row, and keep it 1 color if you like, but or do the last row like I'm going to do in a different color. So, you know, makes the pattern interesting. But still, some people are just too afraid to play with colors. You know, there's no need for it. Colors are beautiful in patterns as long as you know how to use them. You know, you always have to put, like, if you're using a dark color, you always have to put a light, 1 shade or 2 shades lighter to have the contrast in order to outstand the design on the pattern, okay? So the middle one, I'm just going to tighten it a little bit more. We don't want that big hole there in the middle. And then we're going to come through the loops here in the middle. That's why we use the smaller hook. I always say needle. I don't know why I always say needle. I guess it's just a habit. You know, I think, well, a habit, I don't know if it's a habit, because in Portuguese, we don't have a word for hook. We say needle. Needle to sew, needle to stitch, needle to crochet, needle to knit. You know, it's needle to everything. So there is no specific word for hook. So I guess that's why I say needle. Okay, so this is going to look like that. I know it doesn't show much good on camera, but it's exactly like this one here. So basically we just finished doing this row. So now we're going to go into the last row. It's going to be a very short video, people. It's just showing you how to do this beautiful flower that you might use on anything that you like. So slip stitch knot. You go into the center. I think for this I need now to bring my black, or you're not going to see the stitch that well. So I'm going to go on any single, 2 chain. I'm going to do again 3 double crochets, and that is with the chain, the single and 2 chain. 2 chain separation, back in, and create 3 more double crochet. Very simple, nothing to it. Next space, we're going to create the same thing. So this is the same thing all the way around. Two chain separation, and again, and this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to have 12 of these. Now, of course, if you didn't want to have 12, then you would have to have done, like, if you wanted only 8, or let's say, you would have had to done less in the center, like 16 instead of 24. Then you would have had less of these double crochets at the end going around. Instead of having groups of 12, you would have had 8. Okay, so you have to play with colors, people. Look how beautiful this looks, right? 2 chain separation and 3 more. So I'm going to finish this one, and I am going to create another one in this color so you can see better also and how beautiful you can combine the 2 colors together. Okay, so I'm just going to finish my round. I'll come back to you. So basically I did my whole round. I'm going to come on 3rd space here, close it up with a slip stitch, and then you would tuck in loose ends. Okay, so now we're going to go into the same one, which you'll see better. So you would do your magic or your 6 chain. Now, I'm just going to pull a little bit here because I don't want it too loose. I want to have control of it. So chain 3. Now we're going to do 16 on this one, okay? 3, 4, 5, until 16. We got our 16. I'm going to pull in the magic circle. We're going to close it up on 3rd space here. 1, 2, and 3. In the same space, we're going to do the incomplete double crochet. Close it all together. 1, 2 chain. We're going to skip a space, and we're going to come into the next one, and we're going to do the double crochet incomplete, 2 chain again, and we skip a space going to the next one. And we're doing the double crochet incomplete, 2 chains, skip a space into the next one, 2 chain, skip a space into the next one, 3 double crochet complete again, and close it all together, skip a space into the next one, and again the same thing. Now, of course, it's smaller, so it's going to pull a bit, right? If your stitch is extremely tight, then do 3 instead of 2 chains, okay? It's going to look like a hat, right? But once we do the next row, it's all going to come together. So we'd skip the space and we'd be there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? We'd come where we have our stitches here, where we close up. And look at that. It looks like a little silly hat. Now come into the center, 1, 2, and 3. And again, the same thing. 3 double crochet incomplete. 1, 2, and 3 chain this time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So continue yours all the way to the end. So as you can see, it looks like a hat because it's so tightened up, right? So now we close in with the slip stitch. We're going to go in the center with a chain 3. I'm going to do 2 more double crochets, chain 2 on the same space, 2 more. I'm going to have a total of 3. Next space, and create your groups of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. It's going to get all straightened out now once we put this row in, because we're putting in more stitches in, right? So obviously it's going to start to take shape. But of course, if it's, you know, too much on your part because your stitch is extremely too tight, then you need to do, like I told you, instead of 2 chain, you do 3 chain, because you don't want it to be really hatty either, right? So continue yours and I'll continue mine. Okay, everyone, so we pretty much came to the end. I've done all my double crochet, and I would close up with a chain. So here's mine, and of course it's just perfect. Now also, when I'm going to iron it, it's going to stay flat. But like I said, if you find it's too tight here, so where we did the 2 chain, do a 3 chain, and where you did the 3 chain, do a 4 chain, in order to have enough space for the poor thing to breathe, right? So this is the difference between these 16, which makes it very hard to see it on here. So this is the 16. And this is the 8. So anyway, this does it for this tutorial. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye-bye. Stay safe.